we focus on 36 Minimax drivers set to sit and then take the track for what will be a 14-lap race. Well, drivers, the ball is now in your court. See what I did there? This class, supported by IPK Praga. Jaden Else was your first champion in 2016. Marcus Armand, your second champion. Here is your full starting lineup. Pole position for Lebanon, undefeated so far, Christopher El Fagali. Harry Bartle from the United Kingdom on the outside of row number 1. Row 2 from the UK, Jacob Ashcroft and Thomas Pradier from France. They won in 2017 and 2019 in this class. Tom Strella from Latvia and Vasilios Malamis from Greece on row 3. Travis Teo, Malaysia's best ever grid position in this event, starts 7th alongside Luis Basire. On row number 5, rounding out the top 10, UK Sebastian Mins and Team USA's Kai Johnson. Gage Korn from the United States starts 11th alongside Max Sadursky from the Netherlands. Row number 7, Jack McLaughlin from Ireland and Tiger Tezuka from Japan. Vincenzi Garcia from Chile and Rasmus Koskinen from Finland start on row number 8. Row 9, Kasper Nissen from Denmark and Zdenek Babicek from the Czech Republic. Lucas de Longchamp from Canada and Gustavo Bonk from Brazil rounds out your top 20. On row number 11, João Pereira from Portugal and Juuso Soranki from Finland. Marcel Zibo from Hungary and Alexander Rogowski from Poland start on row number 12. Toby Gale from Thailand and Ryusai Sawada from Japan are up next. Then it's Jakob Assam and Alfonso Ferreira from Austria and Portugal, respectively. Dmitry Matranin from Kyrgyzstan and Nikhilesh Raju from India are on row 15. Alois Girardet from France and Paul Schön from Switzerland on row 60. The final 2 rows, Patrick Nikolic from Poland, Felipe Reis from the Netherlands, Zain El Homassani from the United Arab Emirates, and Juan Pinzon from Colombia. Joining me once again in the commentary box is Team New Zealand's Tiffany Chittenden. Tiffany, the drivers they were going to go out, they weren't going to go out, they've had a break, and now they're off, so they'll all be reset and ready to go, won't they? Yes, always helps if I turn Tiffany Chittenden's microphone on. Tiffany, as we were saying, the drivers, they'll be ready to go.
Yeah, they're pros at this, and although the delay is not ideal, the organisation did the right thing, took them off out of the sun, and they just had a complete reset.
Okay, here we go. 14 laps, it's a long race. Christopher El Fagali, we spoke to him, Jenny spoke to him beforehand. He's undefeated so far, but of course in the heats and the pre-finals you've only got half your rivals around you. Now you have all the fast drivers starting directly behind him. Fagali, Bartle, Ashcroft, Pradier, Strella, Malamis, Teo, Basire, Mins, Johnson, Korn, Sadursky. Any one of those and maybe a few more could be a winner here in 14 laps time. Lebanon are watching. Christopher El Fagali will bring kart 137 into the tram lines. Now the nerves pick up. Now the adrenaline is coursing through their veins as the lights go out. We're off and racing. It's a good start from Fagali. Ashcroft in P3 follows him through. We come out of turn number 1. We fan out very wide towards turn 2 and 3. Oh, and a spin in the middle of the pack, and that's going to take out a whole bunch of leaders. That was the 4th or 5th place driver spinning backwards, and you can see 3 or 4 carts out of the side of the circuit. They're all going to get back on. I think, well, we'll catch up with that. Harry Bartle might have been one of them from Team UK. So Thomas Pradier, Vasilis Malamis, Travis Teo and Sebastian Mins, along with Gage Korn, could have been involved. That's the worst thing that can happen, Tiff Chittenden.
Yeah, exactly. I think Bartle maybe just got caught on the outside.
Red
so
flags,
he may
red
have been
flags
going.
again. This is not what we wanted to see. You could see it was, well, come around. shortly. We'll try and see who has not come around. Well, we've got Yuso Saranki has not come around at the first sector. Afonso Ferreira is also, I did think, took the start. So we got 35 drivers, but again, there was a third or fourth place. The one driver trying to go up the inside, realised the door's closing. When you do that, slam the brakes, and that just the momentum of all the karts are going towards the left, and suddenly there's a kart coming backwards across the circuit.
Yeah, I mean, these mini maxes are pretty quick. I think Zach's kart yesterday, he got up to 119 down the straight, so it's all happening really fast.
Now,
and a lot, 36 karts into one corner.
Don't always fit. We will have a full restart once again. To apologise, it's been one of those. I think we've had one red flag in the first 3 days of this event, and suddenly we have 2 in 2 races. But
you have
finals.
everyone together now. You know, in the heats, people are being a little bit careful because they need to make the final, and now there's nothing to lose.
Yes, and of course here we go, checking the nose cones on the karts to make sure that none have dropped down. We're not going to show you a replay of the accident because we have obviously a red flag situation, so one driver obviously in a bit of discomfort.
You can see the difference when they stopped. There's a couple of thumbs up to the mechanics and then a few others shaking their heads. So
maybe there's going to be some damage. Now what this does do, and that is
so you're not allowed to basically mix.
That is a somewhat second-hand finished kart of Yuso Saranki, so even if Yuso is okay, he won't be allowed to take the restart, sadly. Now the drivers down at the back of the field. Here we have the officials, and the technical. There's Ernie Salmon just checking to make sure the karts are safe. Now, if there's damage on the karts, the drivers, you can see number 147 at the back there. That's Jack McLaughlin, so he was caught up in that accident. They will be allowed to retake their position. You can see Gage Korn, I believe, there, the stars and stripes. He was starting up at the top 6. They can almost, if the karts are okay, at least they can breathe easy, and they're going to be able to retake their standard position. Now we're having a little look down there. There's probably a problem with Jack McLaughlin's kart, the Irishman, but Paul Klassen and Ernie Salmon checking. That's a safety issue. Yeah,
well, I think it'll be a nose cone. There's the iPad, but if it's a complete restart of the race, which it's likely to be because it was only.
If it's a completely new start, then
they should be able to reset it. But I think they take the photos anyway just to check. He doesn't look that.
But obviously, if there's damage to the kart, you can't then go and repair the
damage.
No,
that you have to. Has to be in the condition it finished, and I believe if you're the cause of the red flag, you can't restart.
Yes, okay. Well, let's have to see how to define the cause. Was it the driver that closed the door, or was it the driver that had the door closed
if you're the cause
spin?
of the medical cause, I think.
Right, okay, there we go. It's not the case of
not if you did it.
The crash was triggered by driver X and driver Y. It's the result. It's the driver that is requesting the assistance from the medical staff.
Yeah,
that is the cause. Well,
back in the day, we used to have a few drama. You know, you'd pretend that you were hurt.
Yeah, because you could retake the heart.
Exactly.
I mean, you're smiling. You're saying you never would do that. Anything like that.
I mean, it was within the rules, Henry.
It was in the rules.
But it no longer is. So.
Okay. There's a look at the Rotax E10. Now, here's a question. In New Zealand, as we look at the new E10 Mini and Micro chassis, that kart. Now, in New Zealand, you don't have Mini and Micro Max, so to speak. Not yet. Obviously, they hope that the clusters come back, but that is an equal weight to normal chassis. You can just take your normal Mini and Micro Max engine off and put the E10 engine, E10 power unit on. It's not an engine; it's a power unit. Do you think that would be a game changer for countries around the world? It's the most accessible form of electric karting for the youngest drivers.
I think so. Yeah, I think it'd be great, and you know, for countries like New Zealand, maybe we introduce that. It's a good way to introduce the Rotax and the mini classes as well, especially, and for sure it's the way the world is going. So I work a lot in the car manufacturer business, and now it's all electric cars. So I don't think we can deny it's just whether you have the infrastructure.
Yes, but I think what the behind the concept of the E10 is that you don't necessarily, like, to run the E20s, you need a lot of infrastructure. To run the E10s, you don't need any infrastructure. So I think definitely it's the way forward, and you know, we have a lot of problems in New Zealand
I know like a lot of the other countries with noise restrictions.
Yes. Yep.
And yeah, so it would, if it means you can race or practice 5 days a week, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and that's going to be better long term for drivers. Now you can see the drivers being put back in their full starting lineup. Very quick work at the top of your screen. You can see where Mr. Soranki's being tended to and just being assisted into the back of the ambulance. The Marshall team are very quickly there on the case, and one or two drivers. So you've got, here we go. Here's Harry Bartle was involved. There's Christopher Alfagari. There is Team UK. None of them want to speak to the camera. Boo! Well, look at that. Great. The Lebanese logo on the crash helmet. That's Jacob Sebastian Mins in the middle of the picture, and Harry Bartle on the left. If you can see the back of Harry's crash helmet, there's Rodney Bartle, the pooch, on the back of his crash helmet. Lots of people have symbols that are close to them.
Yeah,
I've
never seen a dog before, to be honest.
Well, that's what
It's working for him, so.
It's working. Nice style. I like the graffiti style on Christopher Alfagari's suit. Now we'll have a little look. Let's compare drivers. Have a look. Oh, you got a bit of mud on him. Obviously involved in that accident there. Tom Strella for Team Latvia in the middle. There's Travis Teo in the black and white Team Malaysia race suit. In every class, there's always a driver that comes in. Like you've got, okay, Christopher Garley for Lebanon, but Christopher's record in karting is superb. He races all around the place. But then you look down, okay, you've got the UK, France, Latvia, Greece, Vasilios Malamis, and Malaysia. There's always a couple of drivers who, because of the concept, because of the parity, get a chance to shine.
Exactly, and that's the greatest thing about the Rotax Grand Finals, you know, is that the karts are extremely level, the engines are level. It's a lottery which kart and engine you're going to get, and also the Praga team and the Rotax team are with you all along, so you basically have kind of works team support, if you like, throughout the weekend.
Exactly. Now I'm just looking at there. Malaysia, never on the podium in the Grand Finals. Greece, we have had four, count them, 4 third-place finishes for Greece. I think that might have been in Masters of all class. I shall check my statistics now. We had DD2, no, it was Masters. I'm trying to think. It was Greek drivers that have been on the podium. Stoyan Gosovic was a podium finisher back in 2009 at the Ghibli Raceway in Egypt. Did you qualify that year? Ghibli, Egypt?
2009. I don't think I was a master then yet.
No. I mean, just
I think I was DD2. Yeah.
I was. Yes, I said you qualify for the events. No.
Oh, no.
Never. Don't give away your age, Tiff. Don't give away your age, Tiff. But yeah, and we also had in seniors going back to the early stages of the Grand Finals history. We had, I'm trying to remember what the driver's name was. It will come to me at some point if I just suddenly shout out halfway through a race the name I'm thinking of. Samariakis, I think it was. I seem to remember Mr. Samariakis from Greece getting a podium. They were also very good at the class that no longer run, because we do have some classes, for example, Max Masters, that ran from 2002 all the way up to 2009. That was the precursor to DD2 Masters.
That was within. Was that within?
It was
normal.
Yeah, it was in there. There we go. It was Manolis Samariakis. That was the driver I was thinking of, and also Euripides Hazits Tanfanis. Rolls off the tongue. And of course we had 2 years of the RM1 chassis as well. Now there is on your screen number 1, 2, 3. That is India's. The 1, 2, 3 is Porsche. India's qualifier for this final, Nikhilesh Raju. We're going through your screen with the orange sides on his race suit. So these are the drivers looking down at the back of their karts. If you know you have damage, that must and you can't fix it, that must be the worst, the sinking feeling, Tiff. Yeah,
definitely. It's hard to get mentally correct. But then I've seen many races where, or you've, as a driver, have had many races where you've had a little bit of a crash at the beginning, you've got bent tire rod, and then you do your quickest lap just through frustration. So
it's the red mist.
Exactly,
so Zayn El Hamasani going through your screen. So Zayn racing for the the UAE rather, but Zayn, the only Egyptian-born driver here. He obviously lives out in Dubai now, but whenever he possibly can, he celebrates his Egyptian roots, as is quite, correct. But I know that Zayn's family are very proud to represent not just the UAE and the Gulf states, but also Egypt. He's on a UAE license, which is why he is down as a driver from the UAE. If you're thinking to yourselves, well, why is Tiff Chittenden, who's an English driver racing for Team New Zealand or has represented Team New Zealand in the past? It's all about where your license is issued. That's the nation that you race for in the grand finals. So obviously you live out in New Zealand. When you've qualified the last couple of times, you've been racing for Team New Zealand because your race license is a New Zealand race license.
So you are only allowed by the FIA to own one race license, one country. So I had to sacrifice my United Kingdom license to get a New Zealand license. So some countries will say that you have to be a resident as well.
Yeah,
okay. People coming over, but generally it's where you are issued your license that's the team that you race for, and I think rightly so, because you've won the ticket off. So when I raced in New Zealand, I was competing against Kiwis, and that's...
It's only fair if when you've beaten them, that you then go and represent that nation.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what makes it so many nations. So we have now a full restart. It looks like it is. Yuso Soranki will not take the restart. Down to 34, and still a 14-lap race. Again, the drivers, another reset.
Yeah, they've been going through the ringer, these guys. So they've had quite a few weights, but they'll all be headstrong, and they just can't let it get to them mentally.
And that camera angle really shows the undulations on the main straight. You don't really see it from other angles, but there we go. The drivers are heading downhill. Now it's, towards turn number 1. Now it's not as steep as what we had in Paraíba in Brazil for 2018, but this is certainly one of Europe's most undulating circuits. I'm trying to think of another track that has got as many ups and downs. Maybe Raura in the United Kingdom. Hello to everyone up in Cumbria in the United Kingdom.
And obviously the start, it's not so much an issue here as it's rolling start. If it was KZ, you have to watch rolling. But we walked the track. I walked with Marco Munson and Zach on the first day, and it's very, from the second half of the circuit is mainly uphill.
Okay, yeah, it is, and it makes it very, very challenging for the drivers, because if you're making one of those passing moves going into turn 12, which is downhill, then of course it's going to cost you momentum going uphill, and you are, the phrase duck and sitting springs to mind.
You need to keep the revs up.
Keep the momentum down. So right, 34 drivers remain. Christopher Figali, Harry Bartle, Jacob Ashcroft, Thomas Pradia, Tom Strella, Vasilios Malamis, Travis Teo. What is remarkable about Christopher El Figali, he is fully aware of the weight of expectation, and also the fact that the entire nation is watching him. Now, his dad, Abdo, is a bundle of nerves, but Christopher looks as cool and chilled as a cucumber. It is how drivers, the pressure, you just compartmentalize it. And you've been in a situation as well where you had pressure on you, both as a driver and as a woman in motorsport as well. You just turn it off you, even though there might be people saying, this is the most successful female kart racer ever, most successful this ever. You just switch off, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Once the race starts, I think that's probably where they'll be feeling the pressure the most, and just before the race. But once the race starts, you just have to concentrate on what you're doing. You want to win for other people, but you generally don't think about that until the cooling down lap. Or
I've got to say that my racing career was obviously by no means as good as this. I was a club level racer, but when I stopped racing and started commentating, it was this part. I used to hate this part and the rolling lap when I started commentating. When the racing began, like I describe it, I was okay. But whilst you were going around that feeling on the rolling lap, when you're trying to plan and move ahead and get there, I would give me anything to put the microphone down and get me back in the seat. Are you the same? Which part, and obviously you're still racing, but which part of this do you think, I would do anything to be back out there?
Just the driving. I don't really miss the starts part.
No, I was a start person.
Yeah, probably just the finishing and being in that zone, and it's a good you don't have to worry about any other. As you get older, you get more drama and things
you get,
to worry
the faster
about.
you were.
But still, when you drive a kart, there's nothing else to worry about, and
life's problems just go away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's now the engine notes right. Oh, somebody at the side there was a bit quick off the mark. So one more time for the third time lucky. Let's get ourselves underway. This is the rolling lap, 14 laps of Minimax action. Christopher El Fagali, Harry Bartle, Jacob Ashcroft, Thomas Pradia, the front row. Tom Strella, Vasilios Malamis, Travis Teo, Luis Bassiere, Sebastian Mins, Kai Johnson, the rest of the top 10. Then it's Gage Korn, Max Sidursky, Jack McLaughlin, question marks over how healthy Jack McLaughlin's kart is. Then Tiger Tezuka, Vincenzi Garcia, Rasmus Koskinen, Kasper Nissan, Zdenek Babicek, Lucas de Longchamp, Gustavo Bonk, Joao Pereira, Marcel Zibo, Alexander Rogowski, Toby Gale, Ryusei Sawada, Jacob Assam, Dmitry Matrenin, Nikilesh Raju, Alwas Girardet, Paul Schön, Patrick Mikulik, Felipe Reis, Zain El Hovasani, and Juan Sebastian Banegos Pinson. Now we've always said let's keep our fingers crossed for a good race. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we get the race in. Up the hill now. The butterflies will be going. Although I found that the minute the engine starts, the butterflies go away, and now you're just thinking, okay, how can I make progress? Where am I going to position my car?
Yeah, there's a lot of things for them to remember at the start, the tram lines, the speed, so they'll just be ticking all the boxes.
Here we go, through the final corner. On to the start-finish line. Lights are out. We're off and racing. Fagali gets a good start. He tries to cut across. Ashcroft is right on his rear bumper. Through turn number 1. 4 wide as they fan out towards turn number 2. One of the British drivers running very wide. That was Harry Bartle, and Harry's lost a lot of ground. And in the middle of the pack, there a little bit of bumping and boring, but everybody managed to keep it facing the right way. Down towards turn number 5 now for the first time. And it is Christopher El Fagali who has the race lead. Up towards turn number 9 for the first time, Sebastian Mins. Great start from Sebastian Mins. Wheel to wheel up into P3. Wow, Mins started, I think, 7th or 8th and is already up into P3. Driving the orange crash helmet, very distinctive driving style. And it's Jacob Ashcroft chasing Christopher El Fagali away. We can breathe a bit easier now. We've got the first 10 corners done and everyone's still pointing the right way, Tim.
Yeah, and it's tough starting on the outside.
Yeah, Harry
Bartle, yeah, he did well. You're kind of surviving, trying to get back in it, and it's a long way to go yet, so he did well.
Yeah, and again, the slipstream effect is going to be absolutely huge. The end of lap number 1, it's Fagali. We've lost, we've got Tiger Tezuka from Japan has lost a lot of ground, but it's Fagali leading, Ashcroft second, Mins in third. Then it is Tom Strella, Gage Korn, Harry Bartle, Jack McLaughlin. Here comes Bartle back up the inside of Korn for P number 5. McLaughlin, well, we worried if the Irishman's kart was okay. Certainly it is.
Yeah, he's moved up 6 spaces already on the first couple of laps, so all seems
could be
okay
what you were
so
saying
far.
about that, just sheer bloody-mindedness.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm pretty sure it might just been a drop down, which he would have been able to reset, I believe.
Behind that, Pradia, Bassere, Teo, Garcia, Malamis, De Longchamp, Sidursky, Johnson, Bonk, Nissan, the top half of the field. Up at the front, Fagali has got 2 British drivers sitting behind him. Sebastian Mins, if you're wondering why Sebastian leans his neck over, he broke his neck playing on a trampoline when he was younger, and that is the way it has healed. So,
and watch out for Harry Bartle here, I think.
Yeah, Bartle is back up into 5th position. Tom Strella in 4th place. You can see Strella with that deep red and white racing. He has been not a great starter. His first laps this week have been poor. However, in every single race, he has raced his way back into contention. Strella, very strong. He's got Bartle right behind him. The top 3 trying to break away. Then 2, 4, 5 karts. Strella, Bartle, Korn, and the 2 French drivers, Pradia and Bassere, trying to close down that lead group. They're battling for 9th place behind. That is Teo, Garcia, Malamis and McLaughlin, and they are dropping back. But we could have a nice 8 8-cart lead train at the moment. If this group on your screens now sort themselves out and begin to behave, as Casper Nissen runs wide there for Team Denmark, they can all still catch the leaders. We're on lap number 3 out of 14.
I think Bartle may have got up into 4th perhaps, and he'll be trying, oh no, not yet, but he'll be keen to get on the back of the lead pack rather than the second.
Yeah, and he's not, you can see he's not fighting with Strella. That's smart driving from Bartleby, and it's working, because even though Ashcroft and Mins are trying to work with Christopher Elfagali, now Latvia and Harry Bartle has joined the party. Behind them, we've got 3 more carts. That is Gage Corn, Thomas Prady, Louis Bassaret. And there is Bassaret passing Gage Corn, so the 2 French drivers passing Team America's Gage Corn down the hill. It does look as though Jacob Ashcroft is starting to push Fagali away. On the bank behind you, you can't see it there, just to the left of our screen, there are several huge Lebanese flags as the entire driving group and the parents and the entrants are all up on there watching Christopher Elfagali lead this Minimax race. Ashcroft is just doing, he's Christopher Fagali's best friend at the moment.
Yeah, you'll see there's a big difference between this and the Minimax, the Micromax race, sorry. They were defending already at this point. Where,
yeah, oh yes, yes.
They're working together, you know, they're trying to get away.
Now Bartle's got into 4th position. Well, Fagali has got not just 1, not 2, but 3 members of Team UK bearing down on him. But he won't be worried about that. And Ashcroft is just, you know, he's not trying to slow Fagali down to bring his teammates into play. He is just working with the leader to push away. This is smart driving from Jacob Ashcroft. And Christopher Fagali is trusting Ashcroft. The fact that Fagali's not defending.
Yeah, he's kind of trusted. I mean, I don't think he's leaving the door wide open, but he's also not pole lining it quite yet.
No, we're on lap number 5 out of 14. 34 carts took the restart, 34 carts still run, and 8 of them, 2, 4, 6, 8, run nose to tail for the race lead. In 9th place is Greece's Vasilios Malavis. Ireland's Jack McLaughlin runs 10th, and still Ashcroft pushes Fagali away. Mins and Bartle in 3rd and 4th, trying desperately to catch him, and they're side by side for 5th. Is that Mins actually, that's Strella and Pradia perhaps, slowing each other down? Out of turn number 5. This is a critical, in the Minimac class, coming out of that corner is critical, getting up the hill, because you're flat out all the way through turn 6, turn 7 here, and now it's you break. As a change for the 2 British drivers, that's up the inside, oh, Bartle, up the inside of Mins, that's going to cost them.
Yeah, I think Bartle had to make a move. He's seeing the other 2 getting away, so.
And Mins was not really in the moods to let him go, so Bartle had to really ask a stern question, and it cost them both time.
Yeah.
The good news is we've got 8 laps to go. The heats earlier on this week were only 7 laps or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. So they've got to the end of that, and this is where the pre-finals were slightly longer, but this is where the mechanics are crossing their fingers, hoping they've got the tyre presses correct.
Have I bolted it all together properly? As the field pans out across the start-finish line, Marcel Zebo from Hungary drops the back of the field. I think Marcel Zebo may have had a problem. He hasn't come around, so we're down to 33 runners. The gap between, oh no, he is there. This is transponder's not working. Sorry. The gap between Ashcroft in 2nd and Bartle in 3rd is 9/10 of a second.
Yeah, and the leader's just on the fastest lap.
A 1:04.0. That's because that's impressive because he hasn't got a toe.
Exactly, yeah, that is. You'd expect that probably from the P2 guy, but it shows he does have outright pace.
It shows that, yeah, you know, Ashcroft, you'd expect in the slipstream he would be able to, and you can see now there's daylight between Jacob Ashcroft and the race leader Christopher Elfagali as we complete lap number 7 very shortly. When they cross the start-finish line, we will be halfway through. Now Ashcroft, though, is back in the slipstream. This could even help him because he's going to get that extra oomph. They come through turn number 1, they start lap number 8. This is as close as Ashcroft has been. You couldn't fit a cigarette paper between the top 2 down towards the end. Still Ashcroft plays the waiting game. The temptation objective must be so great. I can see the lead. If I can only just get in the lead, then I'm there and I'm a champion. But he still sits and waits. Yellow flags a little bit further back, but that is a problem for Kai Johnson from Team USA and Vincenzi Garcia from Chile. That is a bit further back, but yeah, the temptation is, now we get towards, oh, there's Bartle back up the third position. Harry Bartle back into P3 with Mins fourth, and I think that might be who's in the lead French driver, Bassire, Preda and Strella, but can't count Harry Bartle out just yet.
No, he really needs to get back onto the slipstream of the two in front, so we'll see how it is this.
The slipstream is important, but if
he's just out of it, yeah.
If Mins makes another move, that could be game over.
Yeah, you're really saying, come on, let's give this another go to catch, you know, lap 9 of 14.
And Mins is on his rear bumper now, so Sebastian Mins, even though Harry Bartle put up quite a forceful move on him, Sebastian Mins, he's smart enough to realise, look, don't fight back now. Oh, and he's got to defend there, and that was Luis Bassire up the inside, and Mins a late block there. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not pass. Down the hill, there's two leaders, there's lots of action going on. Further back, yes, Vicente Garcia has had to retire. Kai Johnson is down at the very back of the pack. Rasmus Koskinen has dropped back to 31st. Zayn El Homassani is up into 29th. If anything happens, Sif, just chime in. Felipe Reis is up to 25th. He's gained 9 positions. Paul Schurn up 15 positions to 17th. Jan Schwitter is Paul's driver coach, and Sophie Lansing is Paul's mechanic. She has done a great job for Paul to get him up after a poor start to the week for the Swiss driver. Patrick Mikulik is the biggest mover in the race, up from 35th to 14th. He's gained 20 places, has Mikulik, as we still watch the leaders on lap number 10. Strella now into P5, and the two British drivers in 3rd and 4th, Bartle and Mins, continue to work together.
Yeah, they've broken away now, and this is what they needed to break away from, you know, the guys behind them. So I'm guessing that Mins will give Bartle a couple of laps to see if, you know, they can catch the lead pack.
Yeah, and he's going to be aware of the lap time. We're on lap number 10 out of 14. If Sebastian Mins thinks, okay, we are going to catch him, he'll keep pushing him. If he starts thinking, oh, do you know what? Yeah. I don't think we will, he'll go for the move.
Yeah, exactly. But probably one move and then they'll be back in the clutches of 5, 6, 7. So.
And that could be. So, I mean, it's such a balancing act. Are you thinking about it as a driver during the course of the race?
Yeah, and I think it helps that they're the two British guys. They maybe have talked tactics, but yeah, and no one really wants to finish 4th.
No, of course.
At the grand finals, so.
No. Everyone wants to win, but you know, if you can take a pot open, if you can take a pot home, that'll be, you know.
Yeah, they're running out of laps. So.
Oh, there's Vincenzi Garcia at the side of the circuit, the Team Chile driver, just being assisted off the side. He's okay up and about. But Christopher El Faghali, Lebanon. We have had one new nation on the Rotax Grand Finals podium, Chinese Taipei in E20. Lebanon have tried many, many times. They have they started with one driver, and now they've got 4 or 5. But the driving standards are going up and up and up, and I know there are a lot of problems around the world. Lebanon is especially affected by them. Life is very tough. There's lots of power cuts. But I hope back in Souk, back in Beirut, and back in all the other towns and cities in Lebanon that you have saved your power and you are watching this, because Christopher El Faghali, from this point on, whether Christopher wins or doesn't win, he has been an absolute superstar for Lebanon in this event. Can Jacob Ashcroft is sitting and waiting and sitting and waiting.
Yeah, and the minute he makes a move, then P3 and 4 have, you know, insight.
They're going to be there.
It'll be interesting to see when the leader starts to get defensive. I'm guessing the next lap. It's going to change. We won't see any daylight.
Got to defend, yes.
Yeah.
At some point, Bartle and Mins have been very patient. This has been the high-speed game of chess. Don't count out 5th and 6th, the two French drivers, Preda and Bassire. They're working together. Strella in 7th and Gage Corn in 8th. Then it's Malamis, Sidursky, Teo, Mrogowski, Mikulik, Gale, Schurn, Zebo, Bonk, Babicek, Matrenin, Rees, McLaughlin, Girardet, Pereira, Assam, de Longchamp, and the rest. But It's now are we going to start breaking loose at the front? We get a complete lap 12 out of 14. 2 laps to go for Christopher Elfagali, Jacob Ashcroft, Harry Bartle and Sebastian Minz. Roll your sleeves up, sharpen your elbows. Now things will get very, very interesting indeed.
And Bartle's the closest he's been for
Harry Bartle, he's broken away from Sebastian Minz. Harry Bartle, the minute Ashcroft, or the minute Fagali now defends, Bartle is there. We've lost Marcel Zebo and Jack McLaughlin, sadly, out of the race. No, sorry, Zebo's transport not working, he's still in, but McLaughlin is out. We've got a lap and a half to go. What's Fagali going to have to do now, Tim?
I'm pretty sure he's going to have to defend, although Ashcroft is looking behind him as well, so it's tough, yeah. You know, it's a way up. You want to win. Also,
yeah.
you want to lose a podium position. But
now that Bartle's caught Ashcroft's got to defend as well as attack.
And Ashcroft is very quick on the second part of the track.
Well, the last lap board goes out. Lebanon lead the United Kingdom and the United Kingdom again. Down the main straight towards turn 2. Under braking, Ashcroft can't make a move to the lead. Fagali just covers. Bartle is there in third. Out of turn 4. Can Bartle... Fagali left the door open a little bit, but he's going to get a good run up the hill, Tim.
Yeah, and this is where Fagali is quite quick. I think also Ashcroft was just being careful of what's happening behind him as well.
Yep, Jacob Ashcroft looks over his shoulder again. And now Bartle's going to get a good run through turn number 8, turn number 9, but he can't make the move. Down the hill, half a lap to go for Lebanon. Half a lap to go for Christopher Elfagali. Into turn number 12. Ashcroft can't make the move, neither can Bartle. Minz is no longer a factor. Here goes Bartle at the inside. No, now Bartle's lost momentum. It's between Christopher Elfagali and Jacob Ashcroft. Lebanon, stand up. You have a new superstar. His name is Christopher Elfagali. Welcome to the top step of World Karting Team Lebanon. Wow. Tip Chittenden, he went through the entire week undefeated. Abdo Elfagali, his dad, I know, is a drift racer and he's a big personality in Lebanon. While Christopher, you have just eclipsed your dad's achievement because you are a global champion, my son.
Yeah, pretty good. You don't see that often in mini max. So to lead every race and the final, and yeah, I think Ashcroft just had nothing for him.
Well, Jacob Ashcroft, let's tell the story of Jacob Ashcroft. Qualified for this event back in 2020, then it was cancelled. He races cadet in the UK. Halfway through the year, he said, no, I've got unfinished business with this event. I'm going to stop racing cadet. He withdrew from the British Championship to go to the Grand Festival. It was, you know, we say the word or bust. He went and he did it. He qualified, he got his ticket. Everything here is about just, you know, being here after 2 years after, you know, not qualifying, and he is on the podium. Congratulations to his dad Barry, who had a big health scare last year and has lost about 50-60 pounds just to be able to be out there, so congratulations. Harry Bartle, his first season in the British Championship this year, he started the Daniel Ricciardo series and he comes away with the podium. Sebastian Minz just misses out. We had emotion with Portugal. We're about to see some emotion from Lebanon. There is Bartle, there is the number 124 cut of Gage Corn. He had redemption on his mind after not doing too well last year. He finished 18th last year. He's finished 8th this year. There is Lebanon. Look at that. That is Jacob Ashcroft's dad Barry hugging the kid who has just beaten his son. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I think you have respect for them. You know how hard it is to do what he's just done,
and again, it's remarkable just the level of, you know, cool, calm, collectedness that these drivers have. You know, what have you got to say about what we've seen in Minimax this week?
I wish I was that good at that age.
Yeah,
you know, it's amazing what they can do, what they can cope with, the pressure. Even watching Zach, I was getting nervous, but they cope with such a lot, and yeah, they really are professional racing drivers
Well,
already.
here's a look at the start, and you can see Fagali gets a great start. Ashcroft did not move off his rear bumper for the entire 14 laps. Harry Bartle on the outside, and now that you can see where Bartle runs very wide there, coming through. That's Sebastian Mins and Bartle battling for 3rd and 4th place. You know, they battle Mins and Bartle. Do you think they battled for too long, or wouldn't it not have mattered? Was Christopher Alfagali just going to be too good for everyone today, no matter what they did?
I think they didn't battle. They were pretty clever. They gave kind of every technique a go, I guess. They gave plan A, they battled a little bit, and then they tried plan B and tried to work together, but they just couldn't match his speed.
You know, that is the first ever, and here we go. There's the mechanic. There is the emotion, and wow, you see everybody will be, you know, disappointed, but when you look at that, all the rest of the drivers, the rest of the mechanics, you can see Stephen Letze, that's Sebastian Mins mechanic with the purple, and just they know we've been beaten by the better driver today, you know, and that you get all credit. Now, Team UK have now got provisionally 37 podiums, more than any other nation in the history of the Grand Finals. But that one podium for Lebanon, that is going to be cherished. Like I said, the Najem family, the Knessa family, the Risk family, you know, all the Fagalis, they've all contributed so much to the Grand Finals, to helping the growth of the sport in Lebanon in what are very, very challenging times. And there, take a screenshot of that. That is the result you'll be looking for. Result final 125 Minimax P1 Christopher Alfagali, Azimut Automotive, Lebanon. Jacob Ashcroft, Harry Bartle, Sebastian Mins, 2, 3 and 4. Luis Bassiere, Thomas Pradia, Tom Strella and Gage Korn round out the top 8. Greece 9th with Vasilios Malamis, Travis Teo 10th for Malaysia, a great result for them. Max Sidursky, Alexander Rogowski, Patrick Mikulik, Paul Shern, Toby Gale, Marcel Zebo, Zdenek Babicek, Gustavo Bonk. Your top 18. The rest of the field goes down there. You know, you'll be back with us later on for the DD2 Masters, but just one more time before we go over to get some interviews, you know, what would you say to Christopher Alfagali now and Lebanon? What will this do for them?
Oh, they've got a hero now, you know, and it's how great that is it 11 years old? Yeah, so and hopefully he's an inspiration for more karters to come along, and the team, no doubt the team will get bigger and bigger next year. So it's cool, obviously being from the UK. I've grown up with always having inspiration and heroes to look up to.
Yep.
But it's good when the smaller countries get